Modern political news coverage often flattens the complex African American political identity into quick soundbites, repetitive slogans, and pure emotional reactions. Many discussions operate on a singular premise that Black voters possess an inherent loyalty to one political party, and that any deviation from that choice constitutes a betrayal of the community. We see this premise reflected in the evolution of labels like Uncle Tom. In Harriet Beecher Stowe's 1852 text, the character was defined by his moral strength and his resistance to oppression. Today, the name is used as an insult for those who hold differing political views. The history of Black political identity shows a sequence of pragmatic decisions driven by survival, physical protection, and specific legislative policies. To understand the labels of the present, we have to look past the rhetoric and examine the mechanics of the Great Realignment. During Reconstruction in the 1860s and 70s, African Americans overwhelmingly aligned with the Republican Party. This alliance placed the first Black representatives into Congress, including leaders like Hiram Revels. Republicans in Congress championed federal protection of Black rights, passing the 15th Amendment to protect voting access against state-level interference. As Southern Democrats worked to regain control, they established poll taxes and literacy tests, mechanisms designed to bypass federal law while appearing neutral on paper. This first political alliance functioned as a pragmatic contract, electoral participation in exchange for federal protection. By the 1930s, the Great Depression introduced a new, urgent imperative for the entire nation: pure economic survival. President Franklin D. Roosevelt's New Deal offered relief programs that reached millions of Black Americans facing extreme poverty. These initiatives provided tangible support, as Black laborers found steady wages and employment through the Works Progress Administration. However, these programs also reflected significant compromises. Lawmakers explicitly excluded agricultural and domestic workers, the two sectors where the majority of Black citizens worked, leaving millions without a safety net. Despite these exclusions, relief from the New Deal began a gradual migration toward the Democratic Party, driven by the immediate requirements of the Depression. The structural realignment defining the modern political map reached its conclusion in the mid-20th century. Federal policy began to shift toward active integration. President Harry Truman's executive order to integrate the military served as a significant catalyst for this movement. Under Lyndon B. Johnson, the federal government passed the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965, outlawing legal segregation nationwide. As the Democratic Party became the primary vehicle for civil rights enforcement, Black voters moved toward them. Simultaneously, many Southern white conservatives abandoned the party to defend the concept of states' rights. This transition centered on a single question: which party would use federal power to intervene? The historical record shows a consistent pattern. African Americans aligned with Republicans when that party defended their rights, and with Democrats when that role changed hands. Because policies always reflect compromise rather than purity, differing political views within the community do not equal a betrayal of its interests. Black excellence has never depended on political uniformity. Figures like Frederick Douglass navigated complex, often contradictory political landscapes to advance the cause of equality. The community's foundation rests on a shared history of struggle, resilience, and mutual respect. Progress requires understanding our past and respecting the differences among us in the present. Lasting power is built on unity, not uniformity.